When most games come out, their busiest ever day in terms of active players is usually day one. Very few games go on to be more popular down the line, but Rocket League is one of those games. It's more popular now than it was when it came out. 20 times more popular.
Rocket League had a kind of humble start when it launched in July 2015. The football but with car sim from Psyonix was well received, sure, but it wasn't pulling in huge numbers, particularly on the PC. According to the stat tracking site GitHub, Rocket League was pulling in a modest 2,000 players per hour on the PC on launch day. Not bad. Not great. Since then, through the power of word of mouth and some savvy business decisions, Rocket League went on to get an average of 12.8 thousand players per hour on Steam after 1 month. 2 years later, Rocket League has an average of 39,000 players per hour. That's roughly 20 times what it was at launch. That's incredibly impressive, whichever way you look at it.
So if we could just put this into context for you, just quickly, I mean, you compare Rocket League's stats, like if you're looking at the graph over the time span compared when it came out to how it is now, it's amazing. The graph is just like a solid climb. It's just been getting better and better and better. You compare that to the big games, the really big AAA For Honors and No Man's Sky. I mean, No Man's Sky had the most dramatic fall off of any game I think ever, because it had such a huge day one, and then like the day two was just a plummet.
If I remember correctly, it was over 200,000.
It was insane
on day one,
yeah,
and then
incredible.
Since then it's completely nosedive.
Yeah, it was amazing. So then, and then you've got For Honor and other Ubisoft titles actually, which have had strong starts, but then they just kind of fall off after a while. Other than Rainbow Six Siege, which is a very successful Ubisoft title, which had quite a poor launch, but now because of good support and good word of mouth, it's been doing well. It's been getting better and better, and the numbers now are much better than they were on launch day. So why has this game just been on a solid upward trajectory for 2 years since its release? Well, everyone likes Rocket League, right? It's a really popular game. Not many people hold negative feelings towards it, but why? Well, first of all, obviously, it's very fun. I mean, look at this. Look at it. I heard it.
Sound like a seedy old man, like trying to get somebody to come into the van. Look at it.
This is the last time I did a Matt Lee style thing. You said exactly the same thing.
I did that.
Yes, orgasm thing. And that's very important. It's mechanically so genius, so simple and intuitive, yet rock hard to master. It's easy to be good at it, but it's very difficult to be the best at it. It's immensely playable, it's so easy to jump in and understand immediately what you have to do. Knock the giant ball into the goal. It's chaotic, it's exhilarating, and in many ways, it's the embodiment of perfect game design. And here's the key thing, it all speaks for itself.
Chaotic, exhilarating, but if you get like a player who's playing with you who's bad,
yes,
so frustrating. Fucking hell. Block the ball, just do something, like just pass it, just hit it, just at least just stand in the goal or something. Even
that can go wrong though.
Anything at this point.
Just anything. Just do something. Yeah. Rocket League wasn't the beneficiary of an Activision scale market push. There were no adverts running in the cinema before the latest Transformers movie. There was no presence at the Super Bowl. Word got around about this game because it was really fun. Reviewers loved it, gamers loved it, and they wanted their friends to love it so they could love it together online. And despite how gross and awkward that sentence was, it's a cold hard fact that helped this game spread like wildfire. And the fact it was given away to millions upon millions of PS4 owners as a monthly free game via PS Plus. That simple decision helped Rocket League get into the hands of a huge audience that only helped fly the flag for this game. They've also done a few free weekends on Steam where the game is free to play for a few days and then sold at a discount.
More recently, the developers at Psyonix discounted Rocket League by 40% during the Steam summer sale, something they've been doing a lot of since the game's release. They've also been providing a ton of regular content updates to keep its buzzing community supplied with new stuff, new modes, new arenas, new customization options, and unlockables. Psyonix's recent big Year 2 update featured a new map, Rick and Morty themed content, and the first ever double drop rate weekend. All that resulted in a 28% increase in players right after the sale. GitHub argues that Rocket League's constant updates and, crucially, the lack of competition are two of the biggest factors attributed to its player gains. Because other than Psyonix's own previous game, supersonic, acrobatic, rocket-powered battle cars from 2008, there's just nothing like Rocket League out there.
How about those player gains though, bro?
Them games. It's just very one of a kind at the moment. There's nothing else that does this. It's a unique premise. It would be hard to rip off, like copy, without being a complete rip-off. It'd be hard to apply these mechanics in any other way, really, other than changing sport, make it more of a basketball type thing. But they've already done that with like content updates and stuff. They've cornered a really great little bit of the market with a really well-designed product. They haven't had to market it very hard. They've just made a ton of smart decisions. Like we said, they're giving it away free to various groups of players in different ways, discounting it heavily, supporting it really well with patches and stuff afterwards, and it just speaks for itself. People keep playing it, people keep making YouTube videos out of it, people keep streaming it, and it just sells itself. It is amazing to me. I thought it was incredible that a game can come out and then 2 years later have 20 times the player base it did on the day that it came out. That's so unlike most games. It's amazing. It was really impressive.
So let's talk about some of the reasons why it is so popular. And for me, I think that it's just so easy to jump into.
Totally.
So if you want to just play for 5 or 10 minutes, you can do that. And not many games that you can do that and just have great amount of fun. You can play a couple of rounds and then jump out. So that's one of the main things. Like, people don't have a lot of, who might not have a lot of time to commit to a long session of gaming. Like The Witcher 3, you've got to sit there for a while to kind of, you can't just jump in for 20 minutes, but you can do that with this type of game. And also, you can play with your friends. It's really easy to connect with your friends and play like a social game online. That's another great selling point for it.
It's a laugh as well, isn't it? It's like you can get anyone in there, and even if they're new, they can still score goals. They can still, they can be really bad, but even that can be funny. Like, people can make mistakes that are great, and you get great moments from it because it's all dynamic, it's all physics based. So there's no set pieces involved or anything like that. There's nothing connecting the dots, like automatically. It's all done naturally. Like it depends how fast you hit the ball, from what angle, from what direction. It's so dynamic and so free flowing that it's very easy to see why it's done so well.
And it's very pleasing as well. You score a decent goal and you get a rush. Or if like you're on a 2v2 and your teammate disappears and you're still there owning them other two douchebags, you get such a great feeling. Because one of the greatest memories I've got of playing Rocket League is when that happens. I'm not supposed to be winning here against these two guys because I'm on my own. But if I pull it off, it's like it's very satisfying. There's no way to describe it. The physics of the game, fantastic. Like there's no fault to the physics. The fact that we mentioned it before, there's a learning curve. Like, it's easy to learn, but it's hard to master. Like, if you can get the rocket boosts and you can master those, like mid-air shots and shit, it can become really good. And it's like trying to progress and make yourself better at doing these types of things. It's like it's so much fun.
I don't know what else.
Yeah, I think I'm done. I think I've shot my Rocket League load.
There it is.
I was going to say, with this close from a non-related joke.
That's what I'm here for, guys.
I should have just started doing the outro. I should have just started talking. Alright then, guys, I don't know. Why do you think Rocket League is so popular? We've got our theories. Let us know yours down in the comments. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this every day. There's another one right there if you want to watch that right now. And a link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. See you next time.